Joining us now is infectious disease expert Dr. Rontjean Solante. Doc, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, good morning, Diego. Good morning.
And of course, let's start off now with if you could explain to us or educate us on what is this new cicada variant at saka anong pagkakaiba po nito, Doc, sa ibang mga subvariants ng Omicron?
Yes, Diego. No, this is a variant under monitoring, so which means that there are mutations, no? Nag-mutate yung type of this COVID virus to the point that there are mutations that are observed that it can evade. Kumbaga, kung yung mga nabakuna before, hindi na sila protektado, pwedeng mahawa sila anytime dahil doon sa mga nakikitang mga kaso ngayon sa I think there are already 23 countries now reporting this particular BA.3.2, no? At sa mga kasong nakikita, so far naman, hindi naman walang namamatay pa, no? Mostly are those na hospital, elderly, which is expected even in COVID na non-cicada type. Ganun naman talaga ang COVID pag medyo matanda ka na, doon sila mas mataas ang risk na pwedeng ma-hospital, no? So doon sa mga data natin nakita based on the early report, this can be the next dominant COVID mutated virus. But again, this is not as bad as we had COVID before when we had 2020, 2021, and 2022.
Pero ang ibig sabihin po nito, kasi nakita daw po na may konting spike ng pag-spread nitong virus. Ibig sabihin po, mabilis siyang nakakahawa? And not necessarily na fatal.
Okay, bigyan natin ng konting konteksto yan. In contrast that are still having the seasonal influenza, no? Kagaya ng European and US countries, pag pupunta ka doon ngayon, medyo malamig pa, nandun pa rin yung seasonal influenza nila. So, pag ganito kasi, mataas talaga ang hawaan, regardless kung COVID man yan, no? Or influenza, or RSV virus, kasi nga, maraming taong lumalabas, maraming taong nagkakasakit. So, it is expected that when the COVID mutated will be the one that will also be detected, no? So, hindi ibig sabihin na because tumaas ang mga kaso nito, na-alarma na sila. In fact, they are not alarmed with this cicada. They're just monitoring it. Parang, let's see, kung tingnan natin, kung it will really be a factor na marami ang ma-hospital. But so far, wala silang ganung nakita.
So, Doc, anong pagkakaiba nitong cicada subvariants kaysa sa regular influenza?
Yun ang mahirap i-differentiate, Diego, no? Kasi yung ganitong mga virus kasi ngayon, they present with the same clinical manifestation. Ubo, tapos pag na-hospital, pwedeng magka-pneumonia. So it's very difficult to really differentiate now which is this COVID, is this influenza, is this RSV, or is this adenovirus? Unless we have the test, no? So yun ang challenge sa mga hospital na walang mga ganong kasangkapan na mag-define or mag-differentiate kasi talagang hindi mo alam kung COVID na ba to or influenza lang.
So, Doc, should we be concerned with this variant given there's still little we know about it?
I don't think we should be concerned, no? Because as of now, even if you have this subvariant, there are still good drugs that can really treat COVID now, no? Yung mga Paxlovid, mga Remdesivir, which is also available. And we've been doing that for several years now, even after the COVID pandemic. Nakakita pa tayo ng mga mangilang-ilang kaso ng mga COVID, and they responded well with the treatment.
And to further explain it, Doc, bakit po nagkakaroon ng mutation ang isang COVID, ang isang virus?
Yes, that's a very important question, no? Because ang pananaw kasi natin dito, COVID will definitely be here for longer period of time, parang influenza na lang yan, no? And because of the ability of the virus to change in terms of it will adapt to the person that mahawa siya, na-adapt na niya yung environment, no? So it changes it mutate to survive in the environment in people who are infected. Kaya tuloy-tuloy talaga yan na hindi mawawala sa kapaligiran natin ang COVID because of that ability to mutate in order to survive.
Okay. And then, of course, syempre, sabi nga natin, sabi mo rin, Doc, kanina, wag naman mag-worry. Ang Department of Health naman natin is ready whatever happens.
Well, oo, malaking aral yung pandemic natin,
Right.
no? Because most hospitals now are being capacitated to respond kung meron mga ganitong pag-increase ng mga kaso, especially sa mga ganitong kaso ng mga respiratory viral infection that needs mechanical ventilator, more beds, and ICU beds.
Oo. So, kumbaga, yung COVID-19 dati, during that lockdown, that period, has become our template, pagdating dito sa mga ganitong virus on how we should respond.
Yes, correct. And I think siguro dagdagan ko na lang na yung mga nakinig ngayon, no, we should not panic, no. Ang importante pa rin, if you are in the vulnerable population, pag meron ka mga ganong sintomas, ubo, lagnat, at medyo nahirapan ka ng huminga, magpunta ka agad sa doktor or sa ospital kasi mataas pa rin ang gumagaling ka pag early ang intervention kumpara dong yung hirap na hirap ka na.
So Doc, kumbaga, if you have a cough, cold, fever, and manageable, just go through the motions of how you would treat a regular flu, that would be sufficient as of now.
Yes, for now that is sufficient. Pero pag halimbawa, Diego, ang pasyente natin 60 to 65 years old, an ordinary cough and cold may not be ordinary, may not be simple cough or cold. Ang advice ko, punta pa rin sa mga doktor at kailangan magpabakuna na tayo, no? Darating na yung bagong formulation ng influenza vaccine by April and May. So
Okay.
sila yung priority na makakuha kagad para hindi sila makakuha ng influenza or flu.
Alright, as always, thank you for your time. Infectious disease expert Dr. Ron Jean Solante. Thank you so much for your time.